There's something simple but kind of frustrating about a back door without a screen. I started with some basic 1x4 common boards for the frame. I cut 2 vertical pieces down to 80 inches for the sides. With those laid out, it was time to figure out the inside braces. Now this part actually matters. Spacing everything evenly so the 3 horizontal braces not only support the door, but look balanced too. Once I had those measurements, I cut my top and middle braces from 1x4s, and for the bottom, I stepped it up with a 1x8. With everything cut, it is time to assemble the frame using my handy Kreg jig. Using screws made just for the job, I placed them in the holes and tightened them down. So easy to do. Now, with these holes, I can fill them easily with some wood glue and some wood plugs made especially for this job. Once the glue dries, I can sand them down flush with the wood, and it is starting to look great. At this point, it's starting to look like a real door, but we're not done yet. The next step is paint. I went with a high quality paint to make sure this thing holds up over time. And here's a little trick. I elevated the whole door using some 3D printed pyramids, keeping the frame off the table. Once one side dried, I flipped it and finished the other. After the paint cured, it was time to add the screen. I rolled it out across the side of the door, making sure everything was tight and lined up. Then I stapled it down all the way around the edges, pulling it snug as I went so there wouldn't be any wrinkles or sagging. Once it was secured, I trimmed off all the excess screen. Now, you could stop there, but those rough edges, they just don't look great. So I cut some small trim pieces, mitered the corners, and attached them over the edges. And after a final coat of paint on the trim, it was time for the moment of truth. I took the door outside, installed the hinges, added a latch, and just like that, a fully custom screen door. I'd like to be able to open my back door without letting the bugs in, but what I need to do is measure the door, come up with 33 inches, and go pick up some window screen from my hardware store. First thing I gotta do, open up the packaging, and then I'm gonna lay it out. It's 80 inches long, and as it's 36 inches, I want to cut it right down the middle. So I'm going to cut it at the 18-inch mark. First thing I want to do also is lay out a straight board that I can cut across. I'm going to use a razor blade. You can use a pair of scissors. I'm using a razor blade on this one, and I know what you're thinking. He's cutting right through the table. But don't worry, this is one of my work tables. I can just go ahead and slice right through it. Once I get that screen cut, I'm going to separate them. Then I'm going to grab some Velcro. This is a 24-inch strip, and what I'm going to do is lay it out because it comes separated. I'm going to put the 2 halves together. This kind of Velcro is sticky on both sides with paper that keeps it in. So once I get it all laid out, then I got to measure it. I think I need about good 8 strips, so I'm going to cut these at 3 inches apiece. Go ahead and go down and mark it at the 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21-inch mark. That's going to give me 8 good strips. I'm going to go ahead and cut those by keeping them together. I want each one of these to match up with each other. Once I get them cut, the next thing I got to do is go ahead and place them along the screen on 1/2 where I want to lay them out. It's going to be about every foot or so, maybe a little bit less. The first thing also after that is to peel the backing off one side of the Velcro, and I'm going to place it right next to the edge on one side of the screens, about a couple inches down from the top and the bottom. I'm going to place all 8 strips along the screen. Once I get that done, I'm going to go ahead and peel the backing off of the strips. Take the other screen that I have and fold it in half. It's easier to work when it's halfway folded. Then I'm going to place it right where it needs to go. Press down hard. I want this to adhere to the sticky part of the Velcro. Once I get that first half done, I'm going to go ahead and lay it down and get it all secured on the other side. Again, just some good pressure. Gives me some good overlap, and it's sticking together really nice. Next step is I got to secure it to the door. So what I'm going to use is some pins, and they've got a nice head on there, and it's going to give it some security. So I'm going to put those into the door trim on the outside. Don't need to put too many, but just enough to make sure it stays secure. Now, I do have some overlap on the sides. You could fold those over to give it some extra strength, but I think it's going to hold up just great. Now, look at this. I've got this screen on. I can, if I need to, open my door, open the screens. It's not hard to go out of. And in the afternoon or early morning, I can open it up, keep the bugs out, and let the nice cool air in.
Doesn't take much to put it together. And also, if I need to, I can open it up with some Velcro or some twine and hold it together.
Our back door that we installed a doggy door was kind of boring, but I knew there was an inexpensive way to make it look a lot better without having to get a new door. First thing I did was I got some sawhorses and put some 2x4s across. This will give some strength to the plywood I got to put down. Next, some really inexpensive 1/4 inch Lawan plywood. As you can see, it's actually really lightweight and it's only 1/4 inch thick. It's got some beautiful grain to it if you ever want to do some staining. But the first step is to go ahead and mark what we're going to do on the top and bottom of the door. I'm going to go with 6 inches on it, but we need to make sure we put some tape down because this type of plywood will splinter. So we're going to mark 6 inches across the bottom and we're going to go ahead and cut it up. I went ahead and used my saw, just went straight across. And again, you got to make sure you put some tape down. And here's the good reason why. Look at how sharp those edges are. No splinters or sanding required. Then I trimmed it to the width of the door, and it's time to put some glue on. A lot of people think that you can just use nails, but you can't. Put some good wood glue down, and it will hold and secure all along without any bubbles. Next, I took a foam brush, and I went ahead and just spread the glue. Now, what you need to do is get it all over, especially around the edges. That's going to make it hold flat. Once you get that, just go ahead and put it up next to the door, and we're going to go ahead and use some really small 1-inch brad nails to hold it in place. Now, the glue makes it a little slippery, so put one nail in one corner, line it up with the door, and go ahead and nail it in. Now, we're not going to overload this board with too many nails. We got to make sure we do just the right amount. That glue is going to set up in about half an hour. Next, we had to go on the bottom, but we had to go around the doggy door. Wanted to make sure that we got it all covered. So put some glue on, snap it into place, and it doesn't take that many nails, and we're just going to use that brad nailer and put it right on there. Next, we got to take the doorknobs off because we've got to put our trim around the sides. Now, 6 inches along the top, that was the width, but on the sides, we're going to go a little bit smaller with 4-inch. Put the glue on the board, and again, nail it up and down. Not too many nails, just enough to hold it in place. Now it's time to cut out where the doorknobs were. Again, we got to use tape. Take a drill bit on the back of the door, go ahead and outline where your doorknob's going to go. Now, I just went ahead and used my jigsaw and cut out a hole. It's going to come right out, and if you need to go ahead and sand it to make it a little bit smooth, go right ahead. Next, it was time for the last piece. Put some glue on it, and this one we're going to put right in the middle between the doorknobs. Make sure we measure it as straight and perfect. Put some nails in. Now we got to cover up the seams and the nail holes. I went ahead and used some DAP, plastic wood. It goes on pink, but when it dries, it comes the color of the wood. Go ahead on the seams, use a spackle knife to put it in place, but when it comes to the nail holes, all you have to do is just go ahead and put it inside. It dries pretty quick, and just rub it off and get it nice and smooth. Once it dries, go ahead and just sand it down, make it look really good. Do that with all of the plastic wood that you put on and get it nice. And next, it's time for paint. I went ahead and used a primer and paint in one. I wanted to get some good coverage. You're going to paint the whole door. We're not going to go with a dual color on this one. We're just going to go with one. So you're just going to paint everything. I used a little foam brush, about 4 inches wide. It rolls on nice and smooth. I didn't want to use brush because I didn't want any strokes, but here we go. Let's put those doorknobs back on. And do you remember that old door that we had? Look at that. Now, with the trim, how beautiful is that? I only spent about $12 transforming this door. Didn't have to go out and spend $100 to make it look good. I hope you enjoyed this project. We sure did. And we can't wait to see you again on Home Talk.